Brittney Griner's gay. I don't care that WNBA stars, that some of them are gay. I truly don't.
Brittney Griner appeared to call Caitlin Clark trash and effing white girl.
I find significant. I've watched that video countless times, and it sure looks like Brittney Griner said, and Brittney Griner has not commented, which I find significant.
The WNBA is under fire again, and this time, it's not just about poor ratings or lackluster attendance.
Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man.
Brittney Griner, one of the league's most controversial figures, is now at the center of a growing media storm.
Caitlin Clark got roughed up repeatedly by defenders throughout her rookie year last year. It was attempted bullying, trying to break her spirit, intimidate her, put her in her place.
A heated confrontation with rookie sensation Caitlin Clark has gone viral, sparking outrage, racial controversy, and even talk of a potential lawsuit.
But regardless of why Brittney Griner said what she said, or at whom she said it, I want to know, is the WNBA okay with one of its players saying white girl on the bench and getting caught by TV cameras saying such?
What started as just another intense matchup
Caitlin
has
Clark
exploded into
needle mover.
accusations of racism, double standards, and favoritism within the WNBA.
She is the main
and with voices like Skip Bayless and Outkick Stan Dockett sounding off, this is no longer just a sports story. It's a national controversy.
So good at basketball. Because she's that awesome person, and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
Girl.
But what started as on-court tension has now spilled into potential legal action as reports of a possible lawsuit against Griner begin to surface.
That this person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram.
Is the league protecting its stars selectively? Has Caitlin Clark become a target not for her talent?
Swag you, Brittney. Let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the hell out of here, yo. Yo! Jab stepping, it's the brick. Swing and a miss! Oh! Yo, I ain't gonna fake it right now.
But for who she is, and is Brittney Griner now facing serious consequences for what she said?
Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man.
Brittney Griner, one of the league's most recognized names, is now at the center of a storm after a controversial moment caught on live camera during a heated game against Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever.
Caitlin Clark is a rising star in women's basketball. She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
A potential lawsuit, public outrage, and serious questions about racial double standards in professional sports.
Brittney Griner, who I can't stand, sad that she's a Baylor grad. Yeah, she called her a trash, expletive white girl.
In today's video, we break down what really happened between Griner and Clark, why this incident is sparking national outrage.
Yeah, she called her a trash, expletive white girl. Yes, trash, white girl. Trash. Blanking white girl is what she says.
And how it could completely change the future of the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark is the needle mover.
She is the needle mover.
She is the franchise player.
And she was the MVP. She is the main draw.
She wasn't the one who was full sprinting down the court.
Before we dive deep into what happened, what it means, and how this could impact the future of the league.
The WNBA has come out numerous times. There's no place for hate. There's no place for racism.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. This story is far from over, and we're breaking it down piece by piece. Now let's get into it.
The league would not be okay with a white player saying effing black girl.
The controversy began during a recent WNBA matchup when tensions flared between veteran Brittney Griner and rookie star Caitlin Clark. Eyewitnesses and social media users claim that after being ejected from the game, Griner was caught on camera mouthing aggressive remarks toward Clark, including what some interpreted as calling her a trash and an effing white girl.
Let's see an investigation into reverse racism that's going on across the league also.
The moment exploded online almost instantly. Conservative commentator Riley Gaines was among the first to call attention to it, sharing the clip and expressing outrage over what she and others believe was a racially charged insult. Her post quickly gained traction, especially among those already skeptical of the WNBA's handling of similar incidents in the past.
Brittney Griner referring quite clearly, I believe, to Caitlin Clark and a white referee as, quote, trash ass white girls.
Critics argue that if the roles were reversed, if a white player had used a similar term toward a black athlete, there would be immediate suspensions, press conferences.
The noise that's coming.
I don't appreciate the new fans that sit there and yell racial slurs at myself, my teammates, and the people that I play against. Because, yeah, those might be opponents, but those are friends too. You know, they don't deserve that. So I don't appreciate the new fans that think it's okay to do that.
And possibly even legal action. Yet in this case, the WNBA appears to be moving slowly, if at all.
Brittney is a weird case. He's a man, yes, that much is obvious, but not in the way that you think. He isn't trans. He's a straight cis male who was raised as a girl and given a girl's name by his parents. His mother is the insane one. She forced him to live as a female right up through high school, filled out all of his paperwork, including BC as female, and kept the charade going.
Initially, there was denial. Some claim Griner didn't say it. Others said it was taken out of context. But the footage doesn't lie. The audio was caught live on broadcast, and once it hit social media, reactions exploded. People weren't just upset, they were outraged. The WNBA, a league that prides itself on inclusivity and zero tolerance for hate, stayed noticeably silent. And that silence only made things worse. Critics immediately pointed out that if a white player had said effing black girl,
Caitlin Clark got roughed up repeatedly by defenders throughout her rookie year last year. It was attempted bullying, trying to break her spirit, intimidate her, put her in her place, get even with her for all the attention she was getting.
the punishment would have been swift, probably a suspension or even expulsion. But in this case, no investigation, no official comment, nothing.
Image that she reposted. And the implication is, well, what it says at the top is white, this is how they say girl, white gal, G-Y-A-L, running from the fade, like as if Caitlin Clark is basically a
The double standard was too loud to ignore. What should have been a disciplinary matter has now snowballed into a full-blown public crisis, one that questions the league's credibility and consistency when it comes to fighting racism. It all started with a moment that should have been just another play in a competitive WNBA game. But instead, it sparked a nationwide debate.
He stated in part, obviously, the league would not be okay with a white player saying effing black girl on the bench in anger.
During a recent matchup, Brittney Griner, one of the league's most high-profile veterans, was caught on video appearing to mouth the words effing white girl and trash-ass white girls.
She accused the Indiana Fever fan base of being racist. They investigated it. They said those accusations were false. The least that she could do is apologize to our great state and the fans that show up at these games and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Remarks believed to be directed at Indiana Fever rookie Caitlin Clark and a white referee. The video quickly spread online, igniting outrage. While some dismissed it as trash talk, others saw it as something far more serious, a clear case of racial hostility that would have set the league on fire if the roles were reversed. And here's the problem.
Obviously, she's not going to do that, but also, Dan, why isn't the Indiana Fever apologizing to their own fan base for putting them through that, for going through those types of accusations?
If any player had used similar language toward a black teammate, there's no question they would have faced immediate suspension, league statements, and public backlash. But in this case, silence. The controversy began during a recent matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Atlanta Dream.
Caitlin Clark is the closest thing that they have to quality play. Caitlin Clark, the Caitlin Clark effect is very real. She is the most valuable player in the league.
That was the lip reading. Yes, trash, white girl. Trash. Blanking, white girl, is what she says.
But all eyes were on Brittney Griner after what appeared to be a racially charged comment made from the bench. Late in the game, after fouling out, cameras caught Griner sitting down and seemingly mouthing the words, "fucking white girl." While Griner hasn't confirmed or denied the remark, the footage quickly went viral, with fans and analysts dissecting every frame. Many believe the comment was directed at rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, who has quickly become the face of the WNBA thanks to her explosive performance and massive media attention. Initially, speculation ranged from, did she really say it, to was it about someone else? Some, including journalist Jameli Hill, claimed Griner said, whack call, not white girl. But to a large number of viewers, the phrase looked unmistakable.
Brittney is a weird case. He's a man, yes, that much is obvious, but not in the way that you think. He isn't trans. He's a straight cis male who was raised as a girl and given a girl's name by his parents. His mother is the insane one. She forced him to live as a female right up through high school, filled out all of his paperwork, including BC as female, and kept the charade going.
Following the incident, things escalated fast. What was initially viewed as just another controversial play on the court is now the subject of a legal battle. According to multiple reports circulating online, Brittney Griner is now being sued, and the allegations are serious. The lawsuit reportedly stems from both the physical hit and the alleged racial slur directed at Caitlin Clark. Legal analysts suggest this could fall under assault and defamation, and if proven in court, it might even open the door to league intervention or suspension. What's more, this legal action isn't just about protecting one player. It's being viewed by some as a stand against what fans see as a growing pattern of aggression toward Clark. Across her short time in the league, Clark has been targeted repeatedly with elbows, hard screens, and even social media taunts from fellow players. Many now see this lawsuit as the breaking point.
That this person is not a female. Firstly, because this was actually posted to Brittney's personal Instagram. And when it comes to Instagram, they use a combination of like AI detection and plus manual surveyors, but specifically the AI detection to make sure that no explicit content ends up on the platform. So clearly whatever AI detection system was used when Brittney posted this and it stayed up for 106 weeks was not like, oh, this is a bare female chest, we have to take this down. It obviously assumed that Brittney was male. And
the core of the outrage? If Caitlin Clark had said something similar about Griner, or any black, gay, or transgender player, she would likely be suspended, fined, and publicly denounced by the league within hours. Yet in this case, the silence from league officials has been deafening. This silence becomes even more glaring when you consider the WNBA's own campaigns. Just this season, the league launched a No Space for Hate initiative, promising to crack down on racism, hate speech, and discrimination of any kind. But when one of its biggest stars is accused of making racially charged comments, those same standards seem to vanish. Supporters of Caitlin Clark argue this is a moment of truth for the league. Is the WNBA committed to equality and fair treatment for all players? Or does that commitment only apply when it fits a certain narrative? Adding fuel to the fire, conflicting narratives began emerging online. Some defenders of Griner claimed she didn't say white girl at all, that she actually said whack call. But side-by-side replays and lip readings have convinced many that the original interpretation was accurate.
Brittney is a weird case. He's a man, yes, that much is obvious, but not in the way that you think. He isn't trans. He's a straight cis male who was raised as a girl and given a girl's name by his parents. His mother is the insane one. She forced him to live as a female right up through high school, filled out all of his paperwork, including BC as female, and kept the charade going.
The league has yet to publicly clarify what it believes was said. Once the clip of Brittney Griner's alleged slur hit the internet, backlash erupted. Fast. Conservative media outlets like Outkick didn't hold back. Dan Dakich and Skip Bayless called out what they described as selective racism in the WNBA. Skip made it clear, if a white player had said effing black girl on camera, their career would likely be over. But this time, the WNBA remained quiet.
Brittney Griner was the one that went to Russia with some weed and got stuck in jail. And then the Obama administration traded this guy. Putin's merchant of death is back in the arms business, this time selling to the Houthis.
Skip Bayless flat out said what many were thinking. The league has one standard when it comes to racism involving white players and another when it comes to black players. And that double standard has sparked national outrage. Fans and commentators began flooding social media with questions. Why hasn't the league addressed this? Why no investigation? Why isn't there accountability?
Brittney Griner comes out and says, I am so sick and tired of the WNBA. It used to be a peaceful, small little thing. Now there's crowds screaming, hollering. This is disruptive. It's not allowing us to play the game. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there watching on purpose. It's very disruptive.
Meanwhile, the narrative quickly shifted from a single player's comment to the WNBA's leadership, or lack of it. The phrase effing white girl became a symbol of what some see as hypocrisy in how the league handles racism and personal attacks. People weren't just calling for discipline. They were calling for transparency, fairness, and even legal consequences. What happened next only poured more fuel on the fire. The WNBA stayed quiet. Despite the viral footage and growing backlash, the league has yet to issue any direct disciplinary action or formal statement addressing Brittney Griner's comments.
WNBA crew are very fond of virtue signaling, but even when it comes to Brittney's exchange for like the Merchant of Death, which is insane, by the way, but had that been just like a straight white girl, my guess is that straight white girl would probably still be rotting in a Russian prison.
Compare that to other recent incidents, like the allegations involving fans in Indiana, where the league immediately launched an investigation into supposed racist remarks from the crowd, despite there being no video evidence to support those claims. So let's ask the hard question: why the double standard? When the accusations involve fans, especially white fans, the league is swift to act, condemn, and release statements about inclusivity and zero tolerance for hate. But when a player like Griner uses racially charged language toward another player, a white woman no less, the silence is deafening. This inconsistency has not gone unnoticed. Players like Caitlin Clark are now finding themselves walking a tightrope.
Brittney is a weird case. He's a man, yes, that much is obvious, but not in the way that you think. He isn't trans. He's a straight cis male who was raised as a girl and given a girl's name by his parents. His mother is the insane one. She forced him to live as a female right up through high school, filled out all of his paperwork, including BC as female, and kept the charade going.
Expected to bend the knee, show remorse for their so-called privilege, and remain silent even when targeted by teammates and opponents. The message being sent is clear. If you're not part of the league's inner circle, your voice doesn't matter. As the video spread across social media, the public response was immediate and explosive. Many fans, particularly from Caitlin Clark's growing base of supporters, expressed outrage. The phrase "white girl," said in frustration on a professional sports bench, was viewed by some as racially charged and deeply inappropriate, especially in a league that promotes inclusivity and professionalism.
Brittney was male, and therefore being topless on the platform was totally fine. It did not constitute as nudity. Now, some people may speculate, okay, well, is Brittney trans?
Critics argued that if the roles were reversed, if a white player had said "black girl" in anger, the WNBA would have likely issued an immediate suspension or even considered more serious consequences. Sports commentators quickly jumped into the conversation. On his show, Skip Bayless questioned why the league hadn't acted, pointing out the apparent double standard. He emphasized that the WNBA's silence could signal that it's choosing to ignore an issue that could damage its public image. What's more, this legal action isn't just about protecting one player. It's being viewed by some as a stand against what fans see as a growing pattern of aggression toward Clark. Across her short time in the league, Clark has been targeted repeatedly with elbows, hard screens, and even social media taunts from fellow players. Many now see this lawsuit as the breaking point. If the case proceeds, and if the WNBA fails to respond appropriately, it could spark public outrage. Potential sponsor with.
But we have heard nothing from the WNBA, absolutely nothing.
Brittney Griner elbowing Caitlin Clark in a crazy way and then calling her a trash white girl.
And Brittney Griner has not commented, which I find significant. I've watched that video countless times, and it sure looks like Brittney Griner says, "fucking white girl."
Clips from her past, including one showing her shirtless on social media, have resurfaced and gone viral again. Some claim it supports the theory, while others argue it's pure conspiracy. Still, The fact that this narrative has regained traction speaks volumes about the public's fascination and skepticism toward the WNBA's handling of such matters. Some lawmakers, like Senator Jim Banks, are also demanding apologies, not just from Griner, but from the WNBA itself for what they call a failure to protect all players equally. The league is now at a crossroads. Either hold Griner accountable or risk being seen as complicit in setting a dangerous double standard.
Brittney Griner, who I can't stand, sad that she's a Baylor grad. She called her a trash, expletive white girl. That was the lip reading. Yes, trash, white girl. Trash, blanking, white girl, is what she says.
This isn't just about trash talk anymore. It's about legal accountability, racial consistency, and the future image of women's basketball. The league also isn't off the hook. If it continues to ignore incidents like this, it could open itself up to claims of discrimination or unequal treatment, not just from players, but from sponsors and fans demanding accountability. The ball is now in the WNBA's court. Act now or risk losing the trust of the very people who made Caitlin Clark the most watched rookie in league history. With the WNBA staying silent and no disciplinary action taken, legal experts are now weighing in, and the league could be facing serious consequences.
Is the WNBA okay with one of its players saying white girl on the bench and getting caught by TV cameras saying such? I guess they are. I guess they're okay with it. Obviously, the league would very much not be okay with a white player saying black girl on the bench in anger and getting caught by TV cameras. That would be an immediate suspension, if not a career ender for said white girl.
Some sources suggest that Caitlin Clark's camp may explore legal options, especially if the comment is interpreted as racial harassment under league policy or broader civil conduct standards. There's also speculation that sponsors tied to Clark or the league could pressure the WNBA to respond or risk public relations fallout. The public reaction has been explosive. Fans across social media are outraged, with many accusing the WNBA of allowing bias and targeted aggression to go unchecked. Supporters of Caitlin Clark argue she's being punished for her popularity and success, while others see a deeper issue of race and jealousy brewing within the league.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. She's so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark.
It is a mad situation just all around when it comes to Caitlin Clark, because it's very clear that she is way stronger.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right, so she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Just about trash talk. It's become a national debate about double standards, accountability, and identity in professional sports. The WNBA now faces serious questions. Will they take real action, or will they continue to protect certain players while ignoring their own values? As the pressure builds, fans are watching closely, not just to see what happens to Griner, but to see whether the league truly stands by its own principles. One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. If you found this video informative, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. Was this just a heated moment on the court, or does it reveal a much deeper problem in the WNBA? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.